Thank you, Claire. So thank you for coming out tonight for our 1829 talk. And as Claire said, my name's Julie and this is Amber. And we are both nature rangers working on the Gosforth's Wild Web project. Some of you may know a lot about it. I've seen some faces of people who will know quite a bit. And some of you might not know anything about it at all. You might have had a chance to visit our stand in the foyer and pop your pin on the map of where you are in Gosforth's Wild Web, and if not, please have a look on your way out. So we want to tell you about the project and why it's important to us tonight. Noticing nature near you is our strapline, and it is basically the project in a nutshell. That's what this project really is all about, but we're going to tell you a little bit more in depth. So where is Gosforth's Wild Web? As you can see here, Gosforth Nature Reserve, the highlighted yellow bit, is right at the heart of Gosforth's Wild Web. The idea behind the project is to highlight the importance of wildlife corridors, the threat of urbanisation, the pressures on green spaces, but also biodiversity loss. We want to inspire more and a wider range of people to support local wildlife in and around Gosforth Nature Reserve, to notice, enjoy and protect nature. This is a 2-year project funded by National Lottery Heritage Fund, and it's the largest grant that NHSN's ever received in its 194 years. So as you can imagine, we're really proud of that. And it's thanks to the wonderful support of our members and our volunteers that we've received this level of investment. We're extremely proud of that, and we need to make the most of the generous investment for local nature and communities. So Gosforth Nature Reserve is a wildlife-rich site within the strategic wildlife corridor, designated by both Newcastle City and North Tyneside councils. We know that wildlife corridors are increasingly under pressure from urbanisation in and around the wildlife corridor. Nature and people need to work together. Our members' priority when surveyed was to widen our reach, especially with children. In 2019, Persimmon applied to build 246 houses in the field right next to Gosforth Nature Reserve. And because of our support, we had over 5,000 objections to this development, and it was prevented from going ahead. So it shows the importance of people and nature together. We need people for nature. We want to emphasise the power of nature and people working together, with more people enjoying, caring and protecting it. Gosforth's Wild Web is all about engaging with our local community to help support and protect wildlife. So William Edward Beck was a member of NHSN, and in 1924 he leased the shooting rights from High Gosforth Park, and it became known as Gosforth Park Bird Sanctuary. In 1929, when he fell into ill health, those rights were handed over to NHSN, and the reserve has been managed for wildlife ever since. The 101 kilometre squares that we'll talk a little bit more about represent the 100 years of Gosforth Nature Reserve. Next year in 2024, it marks the centenary of the Nature Reserve being protected. Working together within Gosforth's Wild Web with as many people as possible, we can have an urban Tyneside richer in nature. David Attenborough's quote resonates with a lot of the work that we do. No one will protect what they don't care about, and no one will care about what they have never experienced, which is why at NHSN and within this project, we want to give as many people as possible those experiences. So what is it? So Gosforth's Wild Web, we want to work with schools, community groups, and do some citizen science within Gosforth's Wild Web. With the schools, we aim to work with at least 15, and by Christmas we will already have worked with 4 and have many more signed up. We're offering up to 6 sessions, and these could be assemblies, it could be working with one class, it could be working with a year group, it could be working with the whole school. And the 2 schools we've just finished with, we've had excellent feedback, and it's been great just to get as many of those children noticing nature. With community groups, again, it just depends what they want from us. So we've worked with a few already, and this could be working in their site, working with their clients, or them coming out to us, but just getting outdoors more, possibly recording nature, but again, what they want from us. And then citizen science. So we aim to have 100 citizen science events over the 2 years, which could be leading walks, bio blitzes, noticing nature in green spaces, and just really contributing to that recording, which can then go into national databases as well. But all of this is to help our understanding and furthermore the protection of North East nature. I'm going to hand over to Amber now, who's going to talk a little bit more about those 3 strands in more detail.
Thank you, Julie. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. So I'm just going to be focusing on each strand that Julie just mentioned, and the first one I'll talk about is schools. So as you can see, we do a wide range of activities with them. Hopefully you can see my mouse. Yeah. So here, they're forest bathing. There was actually quite heavy rain when this picture was taken, and they were very happily to lie on the ground and look up at the trees. Here we were using quadrats, and we would get the children to have a look what species they can find in those quadrats. But also we planted some wildflowers as well. And we also gave the children some bug pots, and they went mini beast hunting. And then here you can see we were setting up a camera trap, which we did at all schools that we worked with. And we are focusing our school work in areas where children don't always get these opportunities as well. Our main focus is just to get them outside and noticing the nature in their green spaces. And just as Julie mentioned before with the David Attenborough quote, we really want to just inspire these children in order to appreciate what wildlife they actually have in these green spaces. It could be their garden, or if they don't have a garden, it could be the park that they go to. It could be what they have at the school. Because if they start noticing the beauty in these spaces, maybe they'll want to protect it, and maybe they'll want to become a young North East naturalist. So let's just have a look at some of the camera trap photos that we found at the schools. And this was always one of the most exciting parts of our sessions, for the children to see what kind of wildlife comes out at night when they're not there. So as you can see, top left here, we've got a great picture of a fox. Here we've got a hedgehog, and this camera trap actually got knocked down, so it's nice that we were able to get this. Here we've got a redwing, and then here we've got another fox. If anybody knows what this might be in its mouth, some of the children said it could be a potato, but we think it might be some kind of prey animal, so please do let us know. And here are just some videos of the children. I'll just mute it before I play. So we did always bring some ID guides with us and field studies guides, just so they can do their own research into what wildlife they're finding on their school sites, and also so they can draw from it as well. And then this video just shows them having a go at flipping over some logs and seeing what that might be there. We really encourage them to do this, but also maybe to dig into the soil a little bit and see what invertebrates they can find. And throughout all of our sessions, we do upload these findings onto iNaturalist, which I will talk about in a few more slides. But we would always encourage them to download iNaturalist on their phones or their parents' phones, but also their teachers' phones, because we really want them to continue to look for wildlife and record it even after our sessions are done. And here are just some quotes from the children that we worked with. Oops. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. Sorry about that. So hopefully you had a chance to read some of the quotes there while I was figuring that out. But this is just some of the feedback we got from the children and what they wrote in their own words about the project. It's not on here at the moment, but one of my favourite moments was when we were mini beast hunting, and a little boy found this really long earthworm, and he was like, "This is long as Hadrian's Wall." I thought that was amazing. So yeah, really lovely. So that was working with schools, and now I'm going to talk about working with community groups. And here are just some community groups that we have been in correspondence with so far. Here in the middle we've got Co-Cut Trust, and they're a charity who work with adults with additional needs and help them to live independently. And when we met with them, they really wanted their clients to get outside more and enjoy nature, but also they have an allotment which they would like help with, and one of our really amazing education ranger said that he would help them with that, which is lovely. Top right here, we had a meeting with TWAM, which is Tyne and Wear Archives and Museums. We did a bio-blitz at Segadunum a couple of weeks ago, which was great. And then here we had a meeting with SVP Deaf Centre Family Hub, who really want to come and visit Gosforth Nature Reserve and are really excited to be part of the project. I've just included some events that we've done as well. So this was a bio-blitz in Stevenson's Railway in September. And then here, this was the open day for Gosforth's Wild Web. We had loads of different activities in the field studies room, and it was really lovely. And also, this is just sort of a call out to everyone here, or anyone watching later on YouTube. If anybody knows of any community groups that might want to work with us on this project, please do let me and Julie know. We will put our emails later on, or if you want to just come up to us and talk to us, that would be amazing. And also, just one last thing to say is that community groups, citizen science and events are sort of interchangeable, and we're very happy to work around their needs and wishes. So that was about community groups. And now I'm just going to talk about citizen science. So there are three main ways for you to share a sighting with us. One is directly to us, so you can email us a picture and either your square number or grid reference, or you can do this on the website. And then another way is iNaturalist or iRecord, and these last two are the ones that I'll be talking about now. So for anybody who doesn't know what iNaturalist is, it's an online database for wildlife records that anybody can upload to. You can upload photos, sounds, videos, and an ID will be suggested to you. You can get this as an app on your phone or do it on the computer. And Gosforth's Wild Web has a project on iNaturalist. So this is the project area here. And once you've made an account and you've joined our project, if you upload a sighting that is within this square, it will be automatically added onto our database. So we've got just over 400 observations on here, and we've got a really good wide range of species. But if you're looking at this map here and you see a space where you might be living or you might go and frequently walk, it'd be amazing to get more records on this map. And also, we do have this amazing guide as well that one of our student naturalists made, and it's sort of a step-by-step guide of how to sign up to iNaturalist, but also how to join our project as well. So we've got loads of these outside in the lobby, so if you want to take one home with you, please do. And then onto iRecord. So iRecord is very similar to iNaturalist. Again, you can upload your sightings on the app or on your phone. And again, if you create an account, you can join Gosforth's Wild Web activity. So iNaturalist is projects and then iRecord is activities, but it's just the same thing. So here, I've sort of zoomed in a little bit on the project area map, but that's just so you can see more individual records. And we have an amazing amount of records considering the project only started in August, which is really good. We do seem to have a bit of a bias towards flowering plants, so if anybody would like to equal out this pie chart, that would be amazing. And as Julie mentioned before, we do aim to do 100 citizen science events over the 2 years, and this could be walks in parks led by Ho Yin and James, our naturalists, but it could also be bio-blitzes as well. Some of you may have come to the one that we had at Gosforth Nature Reserve on Saturday, but if not, we do have one in Wheatslade on the 26th of this month, which will be really good, so hopefully I'll see some of you there. But we really look forward to working with different organisations like Northumberland Wildlife Trust, but also Urban Green on these events. And just before I hand you back over to Julie, I just wanted to say it's really important that we receive these records because then we can show just how much wildlife there is in the project area, what wildlife is using those wildlife corridors and coming from Gosforth Nature Reserve, because in the future that could prevent more planning like persimmons, what Julie mentioned. And knowledge really is power. The more we know what we have in the northeast, the closer we are to protecting it.
Okay, so at the end of the project, we would like all of these 3 strands to come together by producing a range of A to Zs. As yet, we don't know what these are going to look like, so there's a couple of examples there. If you have any ideas, suggestions, anything that you think would be good in an A to Z or what we could do an A to Z on, we absolutely welcome ideas. So this could be, we've got an A to Z of different plants and trees and fruits, A to Z of fish, but we want people to be taking pictures of their street names, nature names, the Fox Tavern Inn, so it could be pub names, school names, book names. We want as many different ideas as we possibly can to bring this together for when those are published. So we officially started the project back in August, and we've been working very hard behind the scenes before delivery began. We had a social event in the summer to thank our volunteers for their hard work, because a lot of our work is with volunteers behind the scenes before we could even get this project up and running. Chris Wilson, one of our volunteers, did a great job designing our logo, intertwining all aspects of the project to create, which I'm sure you can agree, a very dynamic logo which captures the project. And now you know a little bit more about it, hopefully you can see some of the strands in that logo as well. So thank you to Chris. So as I said earlier, without the support of our members and our volunteers, we couldn't make so much of our fantastic work happen. So a huge thank you goes out to all of our members and all of our volunteers. A huge thank you must also go to National Lottery Heritage Fund and lottery players. And if you would like to get involved with Gosforth's Wild Web, you can scan the QR code, or you can email myself or Amber, ask us questions. If you go onto our website, you can sign up for our Gosforth's Wild Web monthly e-news to keep up to date with everything that's happening. Finally, and most importantly, nature needs our help and local people need nature. Some of you may have seen the wonderful spectacle of a starling murmuration. This begins with lots of small groups joining together to form a huge flock of starlings, busy in flight, moving in unison. And this is what we want this project to be, nurturing as many people as we can to notice nature around Newcastle. So that's it from us, and we'll open the floor to any questions. Thank you.